Austin
And Greg,
from Life, Love, and the Pursuit of FI.
welcome to a new episode for 2023. How's it going, Austin?
It's been great so far, man. It's a good start to the year. You know, getting the goals written down and achieved. So far, they've been pretty good. I've already achieved one of them. One of my goals for 2023 was to get a HELOC on my current primary residence. I just closed last Thursday.
Okay, nice. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's just nice to be able to use the equity in your property however you want. So I'm a big fan of the HELOCs. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the interest rates that they're carrying right now, but it's better than a credit card.
Yeah, that's very, very much true. And you can get a higher balance than a credit card.
Yeah, absolutely. So March is just around the corner, and we're about to go to Economy 2023. Are you excited for the event?
Yes, I am super excited for the event. So this will be the third one. So I'm excited to see what changes they've made since the last one. And I'm happy to see all my friends in person again and make new financial independent friends.
Yeah, this will actually be my first economy conference that I'm attending. I've also never attended any of the Camp FI stuff. So, I need to start getting more active and involved in those. It's kind of hard because, we're both pretty young, and a lot of this year is us trying to, make the most income that we can and grind and do that. So it's just kind of hard to travel and spend money on traveling when you want to save that income. But, I think there's a balance you have to achieve, because you don't want to die tomorrow and be upset that you didn't get to do a lot of stuff.
For sure. So speaking of travel, you just came back from a trip for your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Where'd you go?
I went to Mexico.
Nice. How long were you down there for?
It was just a few days. I have some friends who live in the city there. And so I just went for like a weekend, like a Friday through Monday thing. It was a great time. I always enjoy traveling to Mexico, especially like the less tourist areas, because you can really embrace more of the culture there and, experience a lot better things than you can if you were in like a tourist area like Cancun.
Nice. So how is your Spanish? Is it like good? Like, are you amateur, novice, fluent?
Yeah, I think I have like a kindergarten Spanish level. Mi español es no bueno, mi amigo.
Sí.
Muy poquito. But, I'm always trying to learn, get better, and grow in that area as well because I travel to Mexico a lot, so it's a good time.
Nice. Yeah, I've been on my daily Duolingo, trying to learn Spanish because I myself want to travel to Latin and South America in my future. I'm planning on hoping to get to Colombia end of the year or early next year for Carnival.
Nice. Is that your only trip you have planned for the year?
Other than economy, yep, that's the only thing I have planned for this year. Everything else is pretty much in state.
Nice. It's awesome. Yeah, I think what I've done different from last year is I've booked a few more concerts, like I think like 3 or 4 of them, just because there are a few good artists out there that I'm trying to go see live. And also in the previous years, I really haven't done that as much. I really haven't taken advantage of going to concerts in person. I feel like that's kind of where I'm missing out a little bit. So I just decided, start with just a few shows throughout the year, once every other month or something like that, and see how it is. I think I actually have one the Friday after we come back from economy. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But, at the beginning of this episode, I was just mentioning the goals for 2023. What are some of your goals for 2023?
My goals for 2023. So, for listeners that don't know, I started a new job the beginning of the year. So I have a goal is to move up one position by the end of the year. Because the way the company is going, it's growing a lot, and like they just went public a couple years ago, so they're still transitioning from private to public and getting their like procedures and stuff in order. So I've been helping them out with that, and so the procedures that I'm hoping to put in place, should give me some credit to move up. So that still max out Roth IRA, HSA, and then take time to travel more this year. Because last year I changed jobs like twice, so that PTO wasn't allowing me to take any big trips. So this year I should be able to build up enough where I can go on my usual like 1 to 2 week trip out of the country somewhere. Yeah. So besides the basic max out, my spending, max out my retirement accounts and HSA. Just enjoy life and with my friends more.
Those are good goals.
Yeah. What about you? What's your goals for this year?
Yeah. I think one of them was to read 10 to 20 books throughout the year. I'm not really trying. I like to set soft goals. I think because, I feel like if I put too much pressure on myself to kind of like achieve that type of goal and I don't achieve it, I'm not too upset about it. But I also don't want to put that type of pressure on myself in regards to that, to be like, you have to do 20 books a year, right? I want learning to be more fun for me and not kind of forced into it.
Okay.
Whereas, just like you, maxing out my retirement accounts is definitely at the top of my list as well. Traveling and going to concerts more. The HELOC was there as well. Luckily enough, that's been accomplished. So getting another property this year, that's definitely on the list.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
Your book idea gives me an idea. I want to get back into reading, or at least like listening to audiobooks on like personal development and growth. Because contrary to what many people think, I'm very much introverted, and people are like, "What? You're so outgoing." But when most people meet me, it's because I've had a couple drinks, loosened up, and then I get to going. But I want to be able to learn different techniques to like put myself out there more and be able to talk to new people without having like so much anxiety and stuff. And then I've also been in the gym on this year, trying to get cut up.
Nice. How often do you go?
I go about 5 days, 5 days a week, and I have 2 rest days, because that's what my current workout plan schedule is. So I'll do like I do push pull legs, and then like 2 rest days, and then go right back into that cycle.
Nice. Yeah, no, I understand the cycle too well. I'm usually going twice a day.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're really into it.
Yeah. I actually got. I've been hitting some new PRs in the gym ever since my accident, man. So I'm just very thankful to be getting back into that. But I'll like wake up around like 5 a.m. now, and I'll go to my work gym, and then after work I'll hit the gym again for another 2 hours. So I usually have a pretty structured schedule when it comes to that. I usually do 6 days a week, usually twice a day. I'll do like chest in the morning, arms in the afternoon, and then back and shoulders the next day, and then legs and arms. I'll usually try to like keep it different and kind of confuse the muscles a little bit. But I'm also increasing my calorie intake. I've hit a new weight goal, so I'm like at 195 right now.
Okay.
I hit 206. But I'm trying to get back up to that. I'm trying to hit 220 and then shred to 190.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get back up to the 200s. It feels weird because I've never hit 200 before. When I saw that, I was like, "Well, that's crazy." So just trying to get back to that weight. You have to do a lot of eating, man. And I've taken a lot of creatine, do pre-workout, protein shakes. So probably after this, I'll take another protein shake.
Yeah, that's been my issue with the amount I'm working out now, because I'm trying to shred up and get down to like 170, and even like as much as I'm working out, like it's hard to eat the right amount of like get enough calories in the day. So like I'm adding like protein powder to like everything, all the random stuff. So like, need some more calories and protein in here, so let me just toss that in there.
That's funny. Yeah, I saw this video, and this is off topic, but it was a gym video, and the guy was like, he was just making like a protein shake. I think he's like protein, bananas, strawberries, and then he was like creatine, and then more creatine, and then he was like again more creatine, and then he was like, oh, while you were looking away, more creatine. But yeah, I think that kind of, in terms of goals, right? The physical aspect is one block out of the 4 that I'm trying to build overall, because I have my spiritual, my mental, financial, and physical. And so overall, trying to build a good, solid foundation for who I am, and working towards those things to become a better man. It's a lot of work, absolutely. I'm actually reading this great book, because I know that you said you were getting back into books, and I'll pull it up. I do a lot of audibles. So with audibles, I just listen to it like on the way to the gym, on the way out of the gym, like while I'm in my car driving is usually when I listen to it. It's called Welcome Home by Najwa Zabian. And it's like the prologue says like a guide to building a home for your soul. So I'm very big into personal development, like you mentioned as well. And this, she talks about building a foundation just like a house. So building the foundation for your soul and for who you are as a person. And each chapter is a different room, which is pretty cool to me. So like, one room, quote unquote room, would be self-love. Another would be forgiveness, compassion, clarity, surrender, the dream garden, the art of listening to yourself, and then adapting to your new reality. And I'm just pretty big onto building that type of foundation mentally, and giving myself more compassion, more self-love, because I think that's critical.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like everyone needs to practice some sort of self-love, especially if your self-esteem is low. You got to get into self-love so you can build yourself up.
Yeah, and self-love can come in many different forms. It could be saying no to an event you don't want to go to, right? It could be you saying just no thank you, or you taking an hour for yourself every day and doing something that you actually enjoy. It could be doing meditation. It could be going to the gym. The gym could be a form of self-love for you, right? Because you're trying to love yourself the best way you can, and you want to see yourself grow. I don't think there's any one specific definition of self-love. I think self-love can come in many different forms, and we shouldn't really put a box on what self-love is, because to everyone it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
So, talking about one of my goals, which is to buy another property this year, how has your property been coming along in terms of, house hacking?
Property's been coming along. I don't know if you can see in the background the discoloration in the window trim. I just had all my windows replaced. So hopefully save money on energy costs. But as far as house hacking, I have my little brother living with me right now, and he helps out on the bills, but that's about it, really. I'm not really going hard on the house hack just yet. But when interest rates start, going back down or stabilizing, I might get into. I might sell this and get into a condo or something, or I might do a HELOC and then buy a condo and then rent this out. So, because I'm tired of doing housework.
Yeah, that's a good decision. Is if you got a HELOC and then you bought a condo and then you rented that house out and then covered that and maybe a little bit of the HELOC.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what is your plan for actually, we'll start like this. What was the process like to getting the HELOC? Was it hard, easy, compared to getting a mortgage for your house?
So this is not the first time I've applied for a HELOC on my property. It's kind of just the same as getting a mortgage, a little bit more streamlined. They ask for income documentation, letters of explanation, stuff like that. It's definitely been just a long process that I was trying to get done as quickly as possible. So they called me last Wednesday and was like, "Hey, you're approved for your HELOC." And I was like, "Well, I leave out of the country Friday, so how soon can we close?" And they're like, "Thursday." And I was like, "Okay." And they brought a mobile notary to my house, and I signed the documents, and now I'm just waiting for the welcome packet in the mail. But overall, they ask for income documentation, they ask for asset statements. So essentially just like buying a house, because they just want to know that you're qualified to do this. So yeah, it's definitely a lot, but it's not as much as buying a house.
Okay. So it's definitely not as strenuous, like a 30-day process. It was a week, we're good.
I think it was a little bit longer than a week. I think it was 3 weeks.
Okay.
So there was definitely a lot of back and forth, a lot of waiting, but luckily everything worked out in the end.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah. So big proponent of being able to use equity in your home in a smart way, right?
Yeah.
Not just pulling it out and spending it on anything. It's not just there for you to just go buy a Bugatti with. But yeah, you can use it for a lot of things. I'm just using it as an emergency fund, as a backup, or home renovations as well. If there's anything I want to do to increase equity in my home, I'll do that as well.
Nice. Yeah. Now, I guess, did you take... all right, so the value of the HELOC, isn't it they only give you 80% of the home's value or something like that?
Yeah. So most big banks, and I say big banks because most lenders for a HELOC will only give you 80% loan to value. There are some smaller banks out there, like credit unions, that'll give you 100% loan to value on your HELOC, which means you can pull out 100% of the equity, which, some people use, and I can definitely give you recommendations if that's what you're looking to do. But I decided to go with a bigger bank just so that I felt more security with that.
Gotcha. That's respectable. And the interest rate, isn't interest rate like an adjustable rate? So it like fluctuates with the like consistently with the rate increases or decreases.
Yeah. So essentially, yes, overall the HELOC is a variable rate. However, this particular lender allows for 5 rate locks. So essentially, like let's say I wanted to withdraw $5,000, I could rate lock that and lock it in at like 10%, and then that amount would like the rate wouldn't change while I'm repaying that amount.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. That's definitely a good perk going with the big bank.
yeah, absolutely.
That particular bank, I should say, because we don't know if that's a thing with all big banks, but for sure, you pick the good one.
Yeah, I've heard good things about this bank from other real estate investors, so I decided to check them out. Yeah, it worked well, and there's an annual fee to hold the HELOC, but I think it's only like $50 a year. So I'm more than willing to spend that in order to have access to my equity. But yeah, you and I can connect offline and talk about which bank I used and what that process was like.
Okay.
A lot of it's just, you gathering tax documents and submitting all of them online, and then just waiting for an answer.
All right, nice.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to ask you about that when we're done here.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you looking to stay in real estate investing?
Not well. I would say up until I'm like maybe like 50% to 5. Then I'm like, all right, I can back out.
Okay.
Or at least just not be too hands on. Like I don't need like 50, 60 doors to like no. I'll be as long as I can get all of my bills paid and then some or whatever, I'll be happy. I don't need to be like a millionaire off of this. Like as long as it pays for my like $40,000 a year budget, all right, cool. Then I can relax and do what I want to do and not have to worry about it. I don't need a second job.
Yeah, I think for me, I think that's kind of what I'm trying to do is get the 60 doors and, eventually get into apartment complexes and stuff like that. And, I would like to have that income as well along with my W-2. Just overall, I think it's just trying to build those passive income streams, right? Just in case, God forbid, something were to happen, and it's there if I needed it. But yeah, overall, it'll be an interesting year to see what happens. It's almost like we're in a perfect storm essentially, and it's like the calm before the storm because we have 3 things going on. The U.S. hitting the debt ceiling here shortly should happen, or should they, whatever they decide to do. Rising interest rates and then a possible recession. So, who knows what the rest of this year is going to hold. It definitely is a lot to handle, though. So hopefully you're planning for that as well. A lot of people that I know are keeping large amounts of cash on hand in case real estate does crash. They can buy up real estate at a cheap price.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Oh, a question about the HELOC.
Yeah.
It's true. I guess, is it true or not that it's kind of like a credit card, you're not charged anything until you actually take money against it?
That is correct. Yep. So you're not charged, well, besides the annual fee, but
yeah.
Yeah. You're not charged anything until you actually withdraw money from it or, use it. So like, let's say I had, I just decided to hold it for a little bit. I'm not going to get charged on anything. but let's say my AC breaks down and I need like $5,000 to repair it, then I would pull money from my HELOC in order to pay for it.
All right, for sure. Yeah, so I guess even you can have a HELOC just for, like you said, emergency fund, or break glass in case of emergency. You come across a good deal. All right, this is what I have the money for. Let's go all in.
Yeah, I mean, it can be used for anything, right? So you don't know what life is going to throw at you, and you don't know what's going to happen a year from now, 2 years from now, right? I'd much rather be prepared than be sorry. A lot of people aren't advocates of using a HELOC as an emergency fund. You know, I still think that you should hold 6 months of an emergency fund on top of a HELOC, just cash reserves. Even though it's going to be sitting in your account, it provides peace of mind, in my opinion, and I don't think you can really put a price on that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. Currently, I'm working on building my cash reserves. Still trying to fully get out of debt first, while investing in my retirement accounts. So it's kind of just a fun balancing game.
Yeah, it's kind of like a daily struggle for me, because like I have my only debt is my car and student loans, and so like while student loans are paused, I'm like, I have the money sitting there for when they're like, all right, you owe this back. Then I'm like, all right, pay them off. But then it's like, could I spend that on pay off the car and then cancel out the car note while I'm waiting on this? And then it's like, everything's up in the air. And then I just bought the windows, but I put those on a 0% interest credit card for like 18 months. I'm like, all right, I'll pay those off within the next year, so I'll be good on those too. It's like what you should do versus what you want to do, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Right now I'm just trying to pay off my credit cards, because that's the first goal, because you know all these trips keep hitting me, like I said, Mexico, and then economy, and then you know who knows, like if we go back to Amberley's in July, should she host it again? It's definitely a lot to think about.
For sure.
Yeah. But you know, I think we're gonna have a pretty great guest list this year in terms of people we're gonna interview. A lot of good names are coming up. The next episode, pretty special guest. So you know, we're not gonna reveal any names just yet. You guys will have to stay tuned and find out. But yeah, overall, I think it'll be a good rest of the year for 2023.
Yeah, let's hope that let's hope we don't go into too bad of a recession like 2009, which is like, you know, a mini one.
Yeah.
And also let's just hope that we remain healthy and just keep on pushing.
That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do.
All right. Well, this has been Life, Love, and the Pursuit of FI. I'm Greg.
And I'm Austin.
Catch you guys later.
Have a good rest of your night.